and welcome to Power Talk. I'm your host, Victor Mwila. Today, we bring you an informative discussion lined up just for you with the challenges of load shedding and the need for more sustainable energy solutions. Many households in the country are considering switching to gas for cooking. But what exactly does this mean for you as a consumer? How safe is it? And what are the benefits? Joining us today to shed light on this topic are representatives from the Energy Regulation Board, ERB, and the Zambia Liquefied Petroleum Gas Association. Together, we'll explore how embracing gas for cooking can enhance efficiency, safety, and saving for Zambian households. Stay with us as we unravel the essential information you need to make an informed decision. I introduce to you my guests shortly after this break. Stay tuned. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Power Talk, your go-to program for in-depth discussions and views and short stories from communities on the most pressing energy issues in our nation. I'm your host, Victor Mwila. Today, we are looking at gas for cooking, enhancing efficiency, safety, and savings for Zambian households. With me in the studio are two distinguished guests. From the Energy Regulation Board, ERB, I have Engineer Gilbert Mbewe, Engineer Fossil Fuels from ERB. I would like to welcome you to Power Talk, Mr. Mbewe.
Thank you so much.
And from the Zambia Liquefied Petroleum Gas Association is President of the Association, Mr. Obed Chiluba. I would like to welcome you as well to Power Talk.
Thank you very much, and thanks very much for having me.
Thank you for responding positively to come and make an appearance on this program. First things first, I'll start with ERB. As we look at this topic, I would like us to understand, first of all, give us an overview of the regulations and standards for gas usage in households in Zambia.
Liquefied petroleum gas, it's an energy source. By that, it's as a result of hydrocarbons. So therefore, any energy form or any source of energy, it's regulated by the Energy Regulation Board under Section 4A of the Energy Regulation Act number 12 of 2019. Also under statutory instrument number 41 of 2023, the Energy General Regulations of 2023. So in the same manner also, clause 10, 1 of the Energy Regulation Act also prohibits establishment and operations of energy enterprise without authority from the Energy Regulation Board. In that light, LPG is licensed by the ERB from transportation, distribution, exportation, importation, and retailing of LPG. So in terms of technical regulations and standards, in collaboration with the stakeholders, industry experts, and also Zambia Bureau of Standards, there are many standards that are there for the industry in terms of liquefied petroleum gas. From time to time, these are reviewed, and if need be for new ones, they are able to be developed. So for now, we've got a Zambian standard 429 from part 1 to part 6, which covers individual cylinders, refill of LPG, retail kiosks, transportation, and also bulk storage. In addition to that, we also have Zambian Standard 426, which deals with the quality of the same LPG. Further, we have ZS749, which deals with the safety aspects of the actual cylinders. The regulations are normally commercial documents which can be accessed by the public from ZABs. Currently, the ERB, in liaison with the industry experts, are also developing regulations, technical regulations, which will also be able to help the industry in terms of storage, distribution, and also the general welfare that governs LPG.
The Zambia LPG Association is an important stakeholder when we're discussing these issues. I would like to find out from the president of the association, what exactly are you about? And how are you working in collaboration with the ERB?
As the Zambia LPG Association, our mission is to drive the growth of the LPG sector. How do we do that? We want to drive the LPG sector through the use of LPG in a safe manner. And how do we do that? By educating the masses or the population and awareness. Because we realize that there is a gap in the industry. And most of the people are not using gas because of the myths that surround the use of LPG. Others think LPG explodes. So many things that surround the use of this. So as an association, we want to demystify these myths so that we can promote the use of LPG in a safe manner. And that's what the association stands for.
Mr. Mbewe, coming to you, I think when we're discussing safety for consumers, it comes down to compliance by those that are dealing in these products or the liquefied petroleum gas, which we are talking about. How are you ensuring that these companies or the different individuals that are dealing in this are compliant?
As ERB, we conduct periodic compliance inspections on all the installations related to LPG in terms of safety, compliance, and general compliance related to trading in LPG.
Okay, let me come to the Zambia LPG Association. What types of gas appliances are available right now for domestic use? And how can a consumer ensure that they pick the right one for their specific need?
Okay, that's a very good question. Let me put it this way. The more reason why most people actually do not opt to use LPG because they feel LPG, or is commonly known as gas, is limited in its application. But that's far from the truth. There are so many appliances that actually use gas. First of all, the main issue we talk about cooking. We have so many gas stoves around. Starting from a single cooker, double cooker, just like the way the normal electric stove comes in. So that's how you're going to find also gas stoves. You're going to have, actually, technology has even evolved. You can even have gas on the other side and electricity on one stove. Secondly, we have also geysers that use gas. They're readily available. Now, somebody might say, where can I find them? Yes, it's difficult for you to find these gas stoves at the moment, for these geysers at the moment, because the demand at the time was not there. Now that there's this surge use of LPG and we are experiencing load shedding, you know, business all about demand. If there is no demand, there is no need for me to bring the product and come and sell it. So these products, we expect them now to come to our market or to come on our market. Geysers will come. Thirdly, we have also braais, gas braais. They braise so well, but people always think, no, charcoal braise so well. But we have also gas braais. We have scotto braais. In other countries like India, you even find a pressing iron for that matter. You find a pressing iron that uses gas. Motor vehicles, they are there. So the household, for household usage, the appliances that are already available, we have fridges. You can buy a fridge which uses gas. We have a stove that can use gas. You can find a braai that uses gas. You can also find a geyser that uses gas. So you are covered. And most of the time, these are the things that we normally use in our houses or our homes.
What we have is a shortage of electricity in the country, are there steps deliberately to promote the use of gas for cooking, for instance?
From the policy side of LPG and promotion of alternatives, ERB is actually very committed to ensuring an energy mix in terms of efficient energy use for the future and also diversification of the energy mix. Already we are in the El Nino situation as a country where production of electricity is compressed because of low water levels. As a result of that, there are all these policy directions that have been issued in terms of promoting LPG to alleviate the pressure that is on the grid. So with cooperating partners like USAID Alternative to Charcoal program, which has come in hand so much in terms of revision of the standards, Zambian standards that we use in ensuring safety, and also the same USAID A2C program and other cooperating partners have also come into play in developing the technical regulations to ensure that the industry is governed by regulations and safe use of LPG. Also recently, ERB in conjunction with the VETA and the USAID A2C program also in the process of developing a curricula for self-installation of LPG. Besides that, also we as ERB, we do public awareness program in terms of promotion of LPG and use of LPG.
Okay, I'll come to the Zambia LPG Association and let's look at accessibility. I think we will revisit the issues of safety because I think this is very important. But just for now, let's look at accessibility and affordability. How affordable or how available are these appliances in Zambia?
Like I mentioned, at the moment, what I can safely say is available, which is readily available in most of the shops, are stoves, gas stoves, starting from one plate cooker, one plate burner, two plate, they are readily available. But some of the things that I talked about, like the geysers, they may not be readily available at the moment because of the demand. But for the stoves, which is the main issue at the moment, these stoves are readily available. So accessibility shouldn't be a problem. But when it comes to affordability, if anything, I strongly feel, or let me say, they're affordable. The gas stoves are much affordable. Why do I say so? Even when it comes to the aspect of maintenance, it's not very common that the gas stove will have an issue with the switch and all those things like the electric stoves are. But they are generally affordable, I can put it that way.
When we look at distribution, I think we should have in mind rural areas as well.
Absolutely.
And it would appear that these things are mainly on the line of rail and not available in rural areas. What are the challenges, really? Because when we're talking about diversification, we should be looking at a bigger picture, considering even those that are in the countryside.
Yeah.
What are the challenges? Do you think that these appliances are as available in urban areas as they are in rural areas?
Not really. These appliances are already available in the urban area for one simple reason. Most of the people who have started using gas are found in the urban areas. And that's where the higher consumption of charcoal is actually, let me put it that way. You find that charcoal is not produced in the urban area. The charcoal producers themselves, they don't even actually consume a lot of charcoal as it were. Most of the consumers of charcoal is ourselves in the urban areas. So even the focus is in the urban area. So if we have to shift and make these people in the rural areas to start using gas, then we have to look at also the population that is going to be using this. But much population in Zambia is concentrated in the urban areas. And these are the higher consumers of charcoal itself. That's why you find that even these appliances are already available along the line of rail. But we are not saying we don't want to take these products there. We have to make sure that even the dealers in these LPG appliances can also take these appliances. As an association, we don't do much into the appliances. Our main focus is on the consumption of LPG. But again, you cannot consume LPG without the appliances. So we have to work hand in hand with the suppliers of these appliances. But our focus as an association, our members, in most cases, they just sell LPG. But you find that on the other side, they also have maybe the smaller appliances, like a two-plate stove. You find them. You go to some of our members, you find a two-plate stove. Yeah, but not a full-fledged stock of gas appliances.
When we look at the cost of using gas for cooking compared to traditional electricity or charcoal, is there a justification?
Absolutely,
there
is.
We should be moving as a country now from these sources of energy to gas?
I'll tell you straight away that we should not focus on the monetary cost. For me, a cost can be spread across. For example, too much use of charcoal, too much use of firewood. The World Health Organization, in their report, they indicated that there are actually a lot of diseases that are attributed to the use of unclean energy. Okay? So if somebody is using, for example, firewood, you're likely to have maybe problems with your eyes, etc. That is a cost also on the Ministry of Health, because they have to provide medicine in the hospital to take care of the eyes of the consumers. Now, when you talk about the cost of gas compared to electricity and other sources of energy, the truth of the matter is that at the moment, gas is relatively expensive on the higher side, but it's affordable. Why? You are able to buy gas from the lowest quantities, 3 kgs, 4 kgs, 6 kgs, according to what you can manage. If you have a 3 kg, you can actually top up a 1 kg. I mean, you keep going like that. When you talk about charcoal is expensive. When you finish cooking, do you keep the charcoal to say, okay, this brazier, since we have been cooking, we'll keep it on the side, then you come and continue later? You don't do that. But once you finish cooking, you turn it off. But when you're talking about charcoal, it's a two-edged sword. Right now we are talking about deforestation, and that's why we're even talking about these alternative sources of energy. Why am I saying it's a two-edged sword? It's because, on the other hand, we are preaching of reducing deforestation, climate change issues. But now that we have this load shedding, now that we have poor rainfall patterns, what has happened? The charcoal consumption has gone up. Where is charcoal coming from? Chopping down the trees. That is deforestation. So what we want to do is now to promote this alternative source of energy. In the short term, charcoal might seem to be cheaper, but in the long term, it is very expensive and very costly to the country.
Let's talk about practical safety measures. I know ERB, you've talked about having these community outreaches where you get into communities and you talk about these things. What are some of the practical issues that we can talk about, even right on this program, if a consumer chooses to migrate from, for instance, traditional electricity or charcoal, and now they are starting to use gas? What are some of the things that you can put across to them that you would like them to take away from this program?
Very, very good question.
To make sure that there's safety in households.
Yes, that's a very, very good question, because now it borders on the customer to make a sound decision on whether they have to switch from electricity and go to gas. I'll tell you straight away. In wherever platforms I've been to, I always tell the consumers to say, actually LPG is more safer than electricity. And people say, how? I said, well, it's because we have been used to use of what? Electricity. I'll give you a practical example. Can you use your fingers, you touch in water, and you go and start sticking your fingers in an electric socket? You can't do that, because you know what is going to happen. Now, for gas, what is important with gas is to contain it, and it comes in cylinders. So when you are using gas, what is more important is ventilation whenever you are using gas. I'm not saying you have to go outside and cook from outside, no. We want proper ventilation. Actually, when you're using gas, what is important is ventilation, because you want oxygen to support the burning. That's the science of fire. Secondly, when gas is produced, it's odorless. It doesn't smell. Okay? So when it is produced, they add a chemical which smells like rotten eggs, so that even a slight leak of it, you'll be able to smell it to say there is a leakage somewhere. So you have to know that there is a leakage. So what happens is that whenever you smell that gas, you have bought a gas cylinder, you have taken it in your house, you smell gas, make sure that you open the windows, the doors, so that you allow air to circulate through. Because the properties of this particular gas that we are talking about, liquefied petroleum gas, that is heavier than normal air. So when it leaks, it doesn't go up, it goes down. Okay? It goes down. So it can even follow the drain and follow that route. So what is important, don't even, especially in the night, you went out and you come back, you start smelling gas. Don't rush to go and switch on the lights so that you can see where the leakage is, or you use the matches to want to look for where the gas leakage is. That is a disaster. Because technology has evolved. The gas stoves that we are using currently, they just use a simple igniter. You just push in the switch, turn it, and just that spark, it will start the stove. Now, if you get in the house, you find that when you turn on the switch on the entrance there is that spark that happens. That can also ignite that. But I'm not trying to threaten the customers or to scare them, but those are precaution measures that they should take. First of all, when they smell gas, they have to make sure that they open the windows, the doors, to allow air to circulate through. That is very, very, very important.
I think I'll start with ERB, and the Zambia LPG Association can as well comment. Do we have the infrastructure to support this kind of transition that we are trying to make as a country?
Yes, indeed, we have the right infrastructure. It may not be meeting the current demand. The demand has just upswing, so suddenly because of the load shedding that is there. But the government is putting in a lot of effort into addressing that situation in terms of infrastructure development, which is supported by the different regulations and standards that are being done together with the cooperating partners to ensure that the demand is sustained from now on, whilst we are experiencing load shedding, and further on in future.
In this case, actually, what we're also talking about storage and so on and so forth. Are we really there?
Let me tell you something. Just like the way my colleague has put it, the truth of the matter is that the storage facilities, especially the bulk storage facilities that we had, we thought they were enough. But we have been exposed as a country. Why? Because of this load shedding. Because all of a sudden, the consumption has gone up. And to tell you the truth, is that these LPG marketing companies, what they had as storage facilities, if they had a 24-ton, maybe 50-ton, maybe it was even lasting for 3-4 months. So there was absolutely no need for them to beef up their storage facilities. But now that we have been exposed, and I'm telling you that it's every day that people are making decisions, looking for cylinders. Right now, if you go on the market, some companies, they have even run out of cylinders. So if you don't have a cylinder and you want to go and pay deposit for a cylinder and refuel gas, they'll tell you that, no, what we have now can only accommodate for those who already have our cylinders for exchange. Because the LPG business is not about when you go to buy gas, immediately you have to fill up your cylinder. It's time consuming. You have to go and exchange. That is full for empty. Now, if you deplete all your stock, it means you have to literally wait for your cylinder to be filled. So the infrastructure may be there, but it's not good enough. We need to beef up that. And what we want, the government, is to consider waiving the taxes, give the incentives, so that we can bring in more storage facilities, bulk storage facilities, in order to take care of this situation. Cylinders should come in. We want cylinders starting from the smallest 3 kg going upwards to be readily available, so that we don't have this situation. I can tell you that sometimes you drive in Lusaka to say, I want to buy gas. You go to this filling station, no, we have run out. You go to the next one. It's so frustrating. On the other hand, we are encouraging people to start using gas, which is not readily available. So the government has also noticed that there is a need for us to switch to this particular energy alternative. And I always tell people that where I stand as a president of the Zambian LPG Association, I want gas to be the main source of energy as far as cooking is concerned, and to make electricity the alternative, not the way it is now. And how can that be done? We have to put the right infrastructure in place, having enough cylinders, have enough storage facilities. That way, a customer wake up and say, I'm going to buy a cylinder on that particular service station, they'll be able to find the product. And that's the route that we want to take.
Okay, as we are closing this discussion, I would like you to send the word that you would like to go out to those that are actually planning to switch from electricity or charcoal use. They would like to get into gas. What message would you like to send specifically from the association?
Thank you very much. Yeah. I'll tell you that I've been using gas for the past 18 years. And once you start using gas, there is no looking back to electricity or charcoal. I will tell you that gas is user-friendly. These myths that people have, gas explodes, I don't know if they watch movies or what, I can assure you right now that those second thoughts that you had, please discard them and right now go and buy gas and start using gas as of today. It's user-friendly, it cooks fast. Can you imagine the temperature of LPG? In less than 0.01 seconds, it moves from 0 degrees to 1,970 degrees. The heat is instant. All these lodges, all these hotels that you see, they don't use electricity for cooking. They use gas. Why? It cooks faster. Imagine you have 50 guests in the hotel and you're using electricity. How many are you going to serve breakfast? That's why they opt for gas. So the best time to switch to gas is now. Please do away with that electric stove that you have and go and buy a gas stove today and start using gas.
Will they be able to save?
Absolutely, they will be able to save a lot. Actually, you don't live on the mess of the power supplying company, because as and when they feel, especially if there is a fault somewhere, they will be able to turn it off. But you have control. The power is in your hands. As and when you want to turn it on, you start using gas. And that's how it should work. Charcoal, rain season comes, if the charcoal is wet, even the matchbox is wet, it will be a struggle for you to make a brace, especially to prepare school-going children. But gas is instant. Immediately you prepare the school-going children, and off you go.
From the energy regulation point of view, what message do you think should go out just now?
Would like to appeal to the consumers that gas is safe. In the past 10 years or so, we've only had one incident, and that wasn't in the kitchens. That was away from the kitchens and an isolated case. All the regulations and Zambian standards are there to ensure the consumers, the stakeholders, and everyone else is safeguarded. People can switch to LPG. It's safe.
I would like to thank you both for making an appearance on Power Talk. It's been a pleasure. You have brought out extremely important insights necessary for those that are switching from charcoal or electricity to the use of LPG. I'd like to thank you most sincerely for making an appearance on Power Talk.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us on Power Talk today. As more Zambian households consider making this switch, it's crucial to stay informed and follow the guidelines to ensure a smooth transition. Remember, embracing new energy solutions not only helps our pockets, but also contributes to a more sustainable future for our nation. Thank you for watching Power Talk, and we look forward to seeing you next time. It's goodbye for now. My name is Victor Miller.